Hello everybody, BrioS here. Today we are looking at a classic assault mech of the game, and this baby here is the 85-ton Innersphere assault mech, the Stalker. And this is actually Jay-Z's favorite mech for good reason, and Jay-Z probably has like 100 or 200 of these. But this particular guy you see here is the Stalker 4N, this variant, and it used to be king back in the day because it had insane large laser quirks, but after the nerf, the engine desync, I thought I will take it out for you guys and see how this build does on the modern day battlefield. And what build am I talking about? It's the good old classic 6 large laser Stalker. But honestly, with the current quirks, which include a 10% range quirk and a 5% energy cooldown quirk for large lasers, it's honestly pretty darn pathetic. So if you're gonna run this build, which I will share with you soon, it's best done on, I think, the 3F. And that one has a 5% laser duration and a 5% heat reduction quirk. And I think that's really good for this build. But anyway, let's take a look at the Stalker 4N. So as I said, this used to be really good back in the day with 6 large lasers. But I'm adapting this build for the modern day battlefield with a Light Fusion 300 engine, a T-Core Mark 1 and light ferrofibrous armor. So with all these improvements, you can have 20 double heat sinks, and the T-Core Mark 1 gives you extra range, I think about 4% extra range. So this build has the large lasers out to a range of 560 with skills and stuff like that. And talking about that, the skill tree gives you extra bonuses, as I said, 40 SPs in the firepower tree. 4 nodes of laser duration is really important. It gives you a 15% reduction in the burn time, allowing you to do more damage in a shorter period of time. Really good if you're gonna run standard lasers. And because this is a really hot build, I'm running all the heat generation nodes for a 10.5 reduction in the heat generation. To make it fire faster, because I already have a 5% cooldown quirk, I am getting 8.25 cooldown reduction for the skills for a total of 13.25. So this build actually fires really fast, but it's still obviously pretty darn hot. And in addition to the 10% range quirk, I have 12% for skills, almost maxing out the range. So total 21% increase in range. And by the way, this build, if you use ER large lasers, it's pretty good for FP, faction play. But this is a quick play build, so just large lasers. So moving on to survival. 13 SPs on the left side gives you armor bonuses, so just a bit, 6.5% armor and 8.4% structure. Structure is actually pretty important for laser bolts because you can absorb heat damage. A bit of mobility, 8 SPs for mobility, that allows you to maneuver a bit better so you can get into position and fire and move just a bit faster to get out of place. And that's pretty helpful. 10.5 XLD cell bonus and a 6% turn rate only. Operations 20 SPs is really good because it allows you to get 10% reduction, or rather 10% increase in heat dissipation and a bit of extra capacity with the heat gen containment nodes. And yeah, the rest are not so important. And finally, for auxiliary, 10 SPs for 2 cool shots with the enhanced cooldown, allowing you to fire the second cool shot 25% faster, and some increased bonuses to your strikes, which actually help deal damage. So that's it. That's the good old Metal 6 large laser Stalker build, the Stalker 4N, adapted with a bit of 3060 technology. You should use this build about 500 meters from the enemy, even though your optimal range is 560. And with the fast firing 6 large lasers, you can do quite a lot of damage. But honestly, the meta has shifted quite away from this kind of mid-range builds, so you might suffer quite a bit. But as you can see from the gameplay, it's not too shabby. Definitely not what it used to be. And I can think of a lot better builds that can do better with laser vomit. But anyway, it's good to try different things, right guys? So anyway, let's get down to the battlefield and I'll show you 2 of the matches that showcase this build pretty nicely and its capabilities. So let's go. So here we are for the first showcase match for this Stalker 4N, and it's Frozen City Conquest. Conquest is actually my favorite game mode, and that's because of the amount of sea builds it gives you, and that's why I'm rich in game, and also because it's a bit more tactical than other game modes. But honestly, a lot of people do not like Conquest, and they have valid reasons for hating Conquest. Some of the most common reasons cited, and you'll see all this in this game, include the fact that everybody runs everywhere to cap all those cap points, resulting in a team really far apart and spread out. And also the fact that you see certain people YOLOing to certain cap points thinking, wow, I'll flip it early and somehow we win. But if you do it too early, they will be out of position and they will die sadly. Like an assault mech you'll see soon running to Tater. And he'll be the first to die and he does 0 damage. Personally, I also made a tactical mistake heading up the slope to the 7 line as what is normally done. But a team is totally spread out. But I thought I'd keep this Stalker in front of me company.
What did I say about assaults in front? No, don't listen.
Yeah, they don't listen. They just die.
Assault tick. Cannot die.
Yeah, some people think a gargoyle is really tough, but when you get focused, it just goes down.
That didn't turn out to be true, did it?
So some gauze fire. Found a stalker, or rather a marauder too.
Main low ground.
Seems to be a range build. So 2 stalkers moving up. Most of the enemy team should be around here, so gotta be careful. Strike comes down on him, he takes a bit of damage.
Mech 1, see the smoke? The strikes. There's a Marauder 2 there.
Yeah, trying to coordinate fire the other stalker.
It's golf. Let's hold Mech 1, don't run forward.
Yeah, this stalker in front of me is also a bit too aggressive. No point running straight into the firing line. There are only 2 of us versus probably
Mech 1
what?
reverse, come to me.
Probably 6 or 7 of them.
It's only 2 of us up here.
So if we look at the minimap, both of us are really isolated in Fox 7. Main engagement is below.
Alpha, right torso.
So outside optimal range, 870 over meters. So I do about half damage at this range. Brawler Veagle, Kurayami in a Veagle A.
Target destroyed. Override engaged.
Yeah, a bit too much heat, but they haven't noticed me, so I'm allowed to deal some damage quietly.
Acquired.
Strangely, enemy hasn't pushed me on 7 line.
Foxtrot, right torso.
Oh, I get the kill. Skill secured.
You got it. Right leg echo.
So I'm actually surprised I'm not being pushed yet. Running it hot because I'm trying to do as much damage as I can before I get pushed on Fox 7. And there are enemies in Fox 7.
Hotel, hotel.
Yeah, I think by now they would have called me out. So 2 stalkers versus the world. That's what we're doing right now. Look at the minimap, they are coming. So it's time to defend.
Mech
Do
1
as,
got contact.
do as much damage as we can, the 2 stalkers here. Before we get taken out. So SRM Vomit Blackjack comes in. 2 stalkers fighting a SRM Blackjack and his friends. GG. Overriding because either overheat and die or I just get killed by them. So let's try go down fighting.
Golf 7 needs help.
There it is. Still alive. Took out his right torso. He's shut down. Goodbye, Blackjack. Psycho goes down. So trying to use this building as cover. My stalker buddy has died. Look, it's an Annihilator Lerms, so it must be a mean baby. Yes, it's a fresh mean baby. Only alarm 15s. So let's close in to minimum range, hoping that he has no buddies. Oh, he doesn't. Nobody has shot me from the left. That means he's alone. So slowly shooting his center torso, trying to twist off his medium laser damage. Stalkers have good hitboxes in the fact that the left and right are pretty obvious, so you can alternate between the left side and right side, spreading the damage pretty nicely actually. With that LRM mean baby going down, it's just a matter of time before my team wins this match, and that's why I am fast forwarding this section, and that's because it's 5 versus 1. Granted, the enemy has an advantage in cap points and caps, but that's easy to overturn because it's not a sizable advantage. And I'm even near EPSI, my 50 kph big fat stalker, and I can just go to EPSI and cap it. That saves the team from running up the slope all the way here. Talking about slopes, to analyze this match, I was actually way out of position. I made a mistake at the beginning of the match, heading up to the 7 line, which is what I normally do sometimes. But sometimes in an assault, especially in an assault actually, it's really hard to fix a wrong positioning decision. So sometimes it's best to just stay on course and try your best, which is what I did. I honestly don't like it when people made a bad decision and then they just give up, do stupid things like fire into walls until they overheat and die, or just DC to find another game. Because sometimes, like me in this match, I got lucky. The enemy didn't push my position, or they pushed it badly rather and a bit too late, and I was able to get some nice lines on the enemy push and deal quite a bit of damage. Granted, the damage I was dealing was about half damage because it's at about 800 meters and my optimal is 560, but in this particular match it shows that the 10% range quirk is still useful, and I was able to do a bit more damage with that range quirk at range. But anyway, that was it. So we'll see how much damage this match gives me, and with us finding the last one pretty darn soon, this game will end and we can analyze the scores properly. So there's the last target. It's Charlie and it's an urban mech, really badly hurt, surrounded by my buddies, so it's just a matter of time before he goes down. Don't think I can get a shot on him. And down he
Target
goes.
destroyed.
Ah, nice one. Well done, team.
Yeah, Bubble Fett gets the kill, and it's a victory with the 6 large laser Stalker, still able to fire really fast and do quite a bit of damage even though I was firing outside optimal range. So if you look at the damage scores, that's 805 damage, 3 kills, 2 solo, 3 KMDD, still very decent, able to survive partially because of luck. But it still gives me a pretty nice max score, and that is a total of 501 max score with this build. So as you could see from the previous match, even outside optimal range for most of the match, this build can still do quite a lot of damage, and that's because the large lasers fire pretty darn fast and they have a nice burn duration, but they're just really heavy. But right now, I am on Caustic Valley. Ideally, this build is a support build, maybe about 500 meters behind the front line, laying down rapid fire large lasers on the enemy, and that's what I'm going to try and do.
Lights coming to the rear, Echo 4.
Target acquired.
So as you could see from the minimap, we have friendly assaults moving up, and that's good. And I also have this ridge, so I'm going to stand on this ridge and give them some fire. Enemy team is pushing, so I'm going to do some damage to them as they push.
Artillery strike activated. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
Very target-rich environment,
Focus Delta 5, Delta 4 border.
Acquired.
but I'm taking a lot of return fire.
Foxtrot Cyclops.
The guys in front aren't really engaging that much, because they're not in a position to do it. Oh, the heat gets me sometimes. Gotta remember to override with this build.
New target acquired.
It's a bit of trading, and this build excels at trading.
Target acquired. Artillery.
All these targets all in optimal range.
New target
They are
Escape.
rotating to Delta 6, the assaults.
And as you can see, firing 3 by 3, you can really fire a lot.
They've got some in Echo 5 as well. This is good.
acquired. Heat level critical.
So friendly team unfortunately is starting to rotate to the right towards Delta 6. So hopefully that doesn't become a pattern. Friendly Gargoyle is charging forward, so maybe he'll draw some aggro.
Foxtrot Slapner, right torso is open.
Heat level critical.
Got their attention in Delta Echo 5.
Yeah, team is rotating, and you got 2 friendlies from my lance charging forward.
Critical.
Alone, YOLOing straight into the enemy firing line. All these assaults, one goes down.
Shut down.
Juliet's in trouble.
It's just a matter of time before the second one goes down.
Critical. Override shut down.
I go in, you shoot them.
Juliet. Orion.
New target acquired.
So surprisingly, the other assault on my left hasn't really died yet.
Target acquired.
Oh, okay, he goes down. But team has rotated to right, abandoning this position. This is actually a good position. I can do some cover fire as the team waits for them to peek. But nah, they rather go around the corner. So kind of a rotation here. Mainly because
Acquired.
they are getting impatient, this team. They would rather rotate and YOLO into the enemy one by one,
Acquired.
rather than wait here for them to peek. That's why it's 1-4.
Target acquired. New target.
As you can see, it's 1-5. The few of us on this hill doing all the damage is slowly being picked out. Don't have the mass to sustain this.
Override shut down.
And it's time to abandon this position. I'm all alone now. So,
Heat level critical.
gotta be a bit more careful using the high mounts to
Acquired.
peek on the hill nicely. And it's time to shift my position to the right.
Override shut down.
But
Delta's pushing.
naturally,
Delta five.
enemy team's gonna push my left as they use mass to smash those friendlies on my right and deal with me.
Level critical.
2-6. Can't outdo all these people. Let's see how much damage I can do before going down. Game is more or less lost. Yeah, the mediums are gonna get me. They saw me. I'm gonna try kill the Hanchi. Ah, I got him. Moral victory.
Shut down.
I killed him. 4-10. So as you can see, the team just disintegrated in front of me.
Right arm critical.
They got a bit impatient, rotating to the right.
Override shut down.
So they're gonna go around the corner one by one and got smashed. 2 friendly assaults from my lance rush forward. They got smashed.
Torso critical.
And at this point, it's just a matter of time before all these guys get me. And yep, there I go down. Lie down, Stalker, lie down. So 4-12, not the best score, but I thought I put in a reasonable performance. And with that being said, let's take a look at the damage output. So that's 940 damage with 631 taken. A reasonable performance, I would like to think, but the team didn't do so well. Granted, I spread out my damage around the whole enemy team, but that's to be expected the way they played. They played well. 487 max score, which is better than I can say for most of the team. Look at that.